Hey. Yes, sir. I'm back. What's going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard live right here on the Spotlight Sports Network and right here on Podbean, the two homes of this podcast, and of course, live here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, somewhere else. And also, the recent replay is on Spotify, and it's on iHeartRadio and Pandora and Google Podcasts. You know, pretty much where you want to hear your podcast. I'm in the house. What's going on? It has been a extremely long week for me. If you follow me, you know what I have just done. Just getting back home here in Memphis from Phoenix, Arizona, where I've been all week for my residency. And I just got back to Memphis last night at midnight. And I had to get up early and do something else, and had to go to the church, actually. I had to go to the church, and now here I am. I'm a little tired today, but it's been a while since I've been live and in color. Well, really not a while. Pertaining to strictly just Cowboy news. I believe the last time I came to you was in the middle of the day talking about some of the things that we were seeing that I just couldn't wait for. I had to go ahead and get it in during my lunch break in Phoenix. But I'm here. I'm wide open. Hope you guys are having a great day. Do me a favor. I'm sharing right now. If you do not mind, go ahead and share if you can. I would appreciate it so much. I definitely would, as we get ready to try to catch me up. I ain't seen the comments yet. I know you're in there. I'm about to come in just a second. I haven't really had time, I got to be honest with you, other than catching the notifications on my phone. I really haven't had a chance to really go in depth with a lot of things the way I usually do. And so today, what I'm going to do is I know what's going on without a doubt, but what I want you guys to do today is to help me catch up. I have somewhat of a grasp on what's going on, but I may forget something, because the truth be told, y'all, it's a whole lot of stuff that happened this week in Cowboy land. It's just no question about it. It's a whole lot that has happened this week in Cowboy land. And you're starting to, hey, Ken in the building, what's up? E. Kush, what's going on, man? Coach Breed Love, what's good? He says the boys are 2023 Super Bowl champions. Wow. I love your optimism, Coach. Yeah, Key, I know that's one of the things that we're talking about. I know we got James. I do know that. Now I'm quite sure I'll get to that in just a second. But there's a lot of stuff that is going on. The week started off with the same Stephen Jones depression status. The same thing. What's up, Sid? I see you, man. What's up, Cedric Scott? It started off with the same Stephen Jones mess. Y'all know what that mess is. You won't sign anybody. You're waiting until maybe about the 6th or 7th day of free agency. And then, of course, after that, you will go ahead and start buying these Church's Chicken free agents. Yeah. Yeah, these Jiffy Lube free agents, guys who not starters on the team where they came from. At least this has been his pattern. And then maybe some guys for practice squad and, guys who, barrel on the practice squad, stuff like that, camp bodies and all that kind of stuff. That's what he usually does. The Randy Gregory episode we all know about. We all know about Lyle Collins. Didn't really elaborate on that, but as expected, he got cut. Quiet as kept, y'all. That's not good. I just want to put that out there. It's not good. I understand. We're in a position where, with Steven leading the way, what we have is a general manager, which is what he really is playing, who's more concerned about the salary cap than players. It's just no other way to say it. You're not better by letting Lyle Collins go. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowl tackle, but you cannot tell me that we're better except in the salary cap. You save $10 million. Woo, okay. I get that. But you're not better on the football field, which is most important to me, which is why when I hear Coach Breedlove say, Super Bowl champions in 2023, there are some areas that has to be addressed, and they have to be addressed rather quickly, because if they don't be, not only are we not going to win the Super Bowl, but what's going to happen is Dak Prescott is going to be running for his life, because presently speaking, even as bad as some of you think the line was playing last year, presently speaking, what's up, Coach? Presently speaking, our offensive line in a 1 week's time has turned into the weak spot of this team. Let's just look right now. If we had to go line up tomorrow at right tackle, you would have Terrence Steele. I give a check for that. I like that. I like Steele starting. I like that. Okay. At right guard, of course, Zach Martin. We love that. We got that. Now it gets tricky from that point on. Tyler is still at center. Not strong enough. Hope he's lifted a house over the off-season. Forget barbells, lift houses. Yeah. Get under the house, pick it up. Yeah. Get stronger. Left guard. As of right now, our starter would be probably Connor McGovern. Then a left tackle, we have an aging Tyron Smith. Now, a lot of you have said over the years that an 80% Tyron Smith is better than some of the 100% tackles in the league. That's a lie, because I'm seeing Tyron Smith get beat easily now. I'm not still saying he's not effective, but I'm saying that he's nowhere near as effective as he once was. Call it age, call it injuries, maybe a mixture of both. regardless, he's not what he once was. And there's no other way to look at it. So the left side of our offensive line is a problem. We saw McGovern at guard. A lot of us begged for it, myself included. It was not the best move. We had expectations for McGovern. He didn't reach it. Matter of fact, they ended up putting Connor Williams back in the lineup, put McGovern back at that hook position where he would play some fullback. So that obviously didn't work, or at least he was not ready as we thought he was. So we're suffering, as far as I'm concerned, on the left side of the line. We are not a better offensive line than we were at the end of last year. So here's the problem. This is where loyalty comes into play. Because a lot of you going to say, okay, well, we're not signing anybody from free agency to go on the offensive line. Okay, I get that. So, of course, Dallas Cowboy fans are trained to say, well, we're going to get somebody in the draft. Let me throw up a scenario for you and show you how this loyalty thing works in Dallas. If you draft a left tackle in the first round, he's not going to start. The only way he going to get in is unless Tyron Smith gets hurt. And I even bring up Josh Ball, our backup. I ain't even brought that up yet. I'm just saying loyalty to Tyron Smith. I consider him like the Cowboys did with Jason Witten. They were so loyal to Jason Witten that they eliminated future guys from playing immediately because you were so loyal to him, even though he was not as effective as he once was and slower and all that. It's not, they wouldn't let him go. Tyron Smith would not lose his job unless he retires or unless he injured. So if you draft a guy in the first round, like a lot of people won't, what you gonna do with him? You usually draft a left tackle. He's a day one starter. Not in Dallas. He could be the greatest left tackle prospect in history, and everybody knows it. And he would not start because they're gonna let Tyron Smith go out the same way that Jason Witten went out, and that's on his own terms. Now, does he deserve that? Yes, but at the detriment of the team, that's where it get tricky. So I don't see a left tackle being drafted. Okay, you understand? So as long as Tyron is there, there's no sense of hollering about we need. What's up, Keith? It's no sense of hollering out about left tackle. Long as Tyron is there, that job is secure. 80%, 70%, 50%. It don't make no difference. They're loyal to. That's what has been proven. So we can forget that. Now, we let go of Cedric Wilson. He went and got the bag in Miami. Can't blame the brother. God bless him. First real shot at some, huge money. He took it. I can't blame him. His talent may be overpaid, but to the Miami Dolphins, it's the perfect price. So the Miami is perfect. To everybody else, he's overpaid. It don't make no difference. The bottom line is he's not in Dallas. So that leaves a hole. We lost Mari Cooper, number one receiver. We lost Cedric Wilson. That's not good for us. Everybody's wondering if CeeDee Lamb is the guy. We ain't gonna know that until the season starts. So everybody's just speculating. Some of you may look at me and say, he's one of these, quote unquote experts or nothing like that. I don't care who it is, from Shannon Sharp all the way down the pole to a guy like me. Nobody knows how good CD really is going to be until we see it, or if he's not good at a one. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. We can project all we want, but nobody really knows. What if CD is the guy? Then the Cowboys then look smart then. If CD is demanding double teams and opening it up for everybody else like Amari Cooper did for him, then we were wrong, and then Jerry and Steven or whoever made that decision was right. But we won't know that until the season starts. But here was our dilemma. CD, as we all know, going to number one. Michael Gallup probably won't be ready until maybe the fourth, fifth game of the year, supposedly. Who's going to be our number two? Some folks say Noah Brown. That don't scare nothing. That don't scare nobody. Someone say the kid from Stanford. That don't scare anybody. The Cowboys understood that. I got to give them credit because early in the week, I was still down on them, okay? They made some... I'm looking at Coach Breedlove's comment there in the chat. Yo, you guys are watching. You guys see it. And he said, get Julio Jones. That ain't gonna happen. They would disrespect Julio Jones with the contract offer because that's another whole show by itself by talking about the insult and contract offers that Stephen Jones have given everybody. That's crazy. But what we did do, is that they realized that they cannot go into this season with this committee approach. They can't. So they went in and signed Gallup. And then yesterday, they signed James Washington. Now, for you guys that do not know about James Washington of the Pittsburgh Steelers, you guys need to pull it up on YouTube and watch him. He is, y'all listen to me, take it from a guy who watched football, and some of us are just only trained to watch the Dallas Cowboys. I get it. But take it from a guy who watched college football and pro football. Let me tell you something. He is a dog. James Washington is a dog. He's not fast, but to me, 4.5 speed is fast. That's good. But in the NFL, a receiver, some folks they'll call that a possession receiver. Whatever you want to say, he plays inside and outside. He is good insurance if Gallup is not ready. We really won't know the full effect, however, of what he really gonna mean to this team until Gallup comes back and we put out the 3 wide receiver set. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and James Washington, if all 3 are healthy, that's dangerous. I'm not saying it's Cooper, Lamb, and Cooper, Lamb, and Gallup, but I am saying it ain't really that far down. Now, I'm just telling y'all, you need to go look at James Washington. Just in case you don't know, he's a Biletnikoff winner from college, first team All-American at Oklahoma State, a dog, a true dog. He is. That's all I'm gonna tell you. He can get it done, no doubt. What we need, however, is somebody gonna take the top off the defense. That's what we need. Because what we really have is a bunch of, CD has a little bit more speed, but he's not, a speedster, but he can get behind you. We don't need a bunch of possession receivers. We need somebody that's going to get over the top. Now, that part I feel like the Cowboys have addressed, considering where they were, especially after Mara Cooper left. I think they rebounded well. So as much as I kill Steven and whoever else, I got to give them credit. I have to give them credit. They signed James Washington, could very well be a legitimate steal. Now, we only signed him to a 1-year contract, and you know how these guys, so you're going to get the best out of them. You know that. So this could be a pretty good pickup for us. I got to tell y'all the truth. Now, some would say, here's your measuring stick. Is he better than Cedric Wilson? It all depends on how you're looking at it. This is what I'm going to say about that. If Cedric is better than James Washington, it's not by much. It's not. And if you're one of the ones that say James Washington is better than Cedric Wilson, here's the common denominator. Cedric Wilson just signed with the Miami Dolphins for 3 years, $40-some-odd million overpay. We got James for 1 year, same type of production for $3 million. That's what makes the deal better. In this case, cheap actually wins in this case. Now, the only problem, Coach Breedlove, that I got with Julio is the obvious. He can't stay on the field. See, I don't want to sign folks that ain't going to be on the field. Julio can't stay on the field the last 3-4 years. He just can't. We all know he's talented. We all know he's a Hall of Fame receiver. We all know all that. But if I can't depend on you out of 17 weeks, if all I can get you is for 5 weeks, that's not good for me. I can't do it. I don't know if Julio still can run with all these lower extremity injuries that he's had. I respect him without a doubt. It's just that he's not that guy like he was. I think injuries have taken a toll on him. He gets injured too easily now. It'll be a waste. I don't want him. I don't. And as and I don't think the Cowboys would touch him either, Coach. If you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but on Undisputed, the show where Skip Bayless and Shannon was on there, that was the rumor about this time last year that Julio was interested in Dallas. Shannon Sharp called Julio Jones on national TV live and asked him, called his number right on his cell phone. He said, man, they saying something about you going to Dallas. What you got to say about that? His first response was, I want to win. I'm not going to Dallas. And see, I'm one of these type of dudes that remember that. So the attitude is that if you come to Dallas, you don't want to win. That's what Julio said right then and there. So I'm quite sure somebody in the organization remember that as well. It's almost kind of like the Cole Beasley thing that's going on. They ain't gonna forget that. Who is that? Joe. Hey, Joe. Joe is in the house. What's up, man? Joe says I would sign OBJ. He's a great receiver. Hey, the Revelator, what's going on? Exactly, the Revelator, exactly. 9 to 10, exactly. Revelator, I don't know who you are on Podbean, but this is my first time seeing you. Follow my show, man. If you don't mind, on Podbean. I like what you're saying already. Not at 10.75 million, exactly. I don't know who exactly. Yeah. I think Washington is a good fit. He's not coming in to be a superstar. Let's get that right. See, when your expectations are what they're supposed to be, then you're gonna be able to move. James Washington is not here as the savior for losing Amari Cooper. He is here to fill in a role. And I think that he can handle the second receiver and the slot receiver position well. He can play all of it. With that in mind, you can move CD inside where he's most dangerous. You can line up James Washington outside. You can keep Gallup, of course, outside. They can both do multiple things. So it's a good fit. All right. Watch this. Now, OBJ. It's the same thing with Julio. Whoever said that, Joe. I don't want OBJ because he definitely can't stay on the field. He can't. I mean, he just can't. I mean, see, we don't need to be signing guys and then all of a sudden you playing the backups immediately. We should be done with signing all these injury guys who you can't depend on, which leads, of course, now as we switch over to defense. I didn't like the LVE signing when I first heard it. I don't like it. I didn't like it. If you don't know, LVE has been re-signed 1 year, I believe. I didn't like it at first, but then I started thinking, and it did not tilt me all the way, but it got me off of me saying it was a horrible decision. At least this is the reason why, and it's only one reason, because everything else kind of kills why you were signing. I mean, he can't stay on the field either. You know, we should have known that after he had his neck surgery, I mean, you knew it was going to be problems from that point on. And you can't have neck injuries in the league and think you just going to be, back where you are. I mean, it's just not going to happen. This is what has happened to LVE. And he just can't stay on the field. I didn't like it. However, let's open this thing up a little bit. Let's look at it, Cowboys fans. You may not agree totally with LV, but now maybe you will understand at least my theory of why it wasn't such a bad idea to sign him. Number one, let's look at our linebacking core. Who you got? You got Micah Parsons. You got Jabril Cox, who's coming off an ACL. We don't know what he's going to be like. And if he plays and he gets playing time on defense, he's really essentially a rookie because he didn't do too much of that at all. He's a special teams guy. So you really be putting out a rookie who got to learn and all that kind of stuff. So that's Micah and Jabril Cox. We just signed Luke Gifford. Luke Gifford is a traditionally known special teams, backup linebacker type guy. Nothing to shout over. He's just good for special teams, and he's pretty good at that. So that's your other linebacker. Keanu O'Neal. He stayed hurt too. So when you really look at it, you only got one dependable linebacker, and that's Michael Parsons. With Randy Gregory being gone, listen to me, check out my theory. With Randy Gregory being gone, we all know that Michael Parsons is going to spend a little bit more time at defensive end. You got to take advantage of him. You got to take advantage of his skill set. Randy Gregory is gone. Michael Parsons is going to get some more time at the edge rusher. Not exclusively, but he's going to get more time. Who your linebacker going to be when Michael Parsons go to the edge. Now maybe you kind of understanding why I'm saying not so bad of a signing with LVE. Because if Michael Parsons goes down to the edge with DeMarcus Lawrence and all that kind of stuff, you need a linebacker that know what he's doing. You need a linebacker that knows the scheme. You need a linebacker that's not guessing on what he should be doing. Now, LVE is hurt, but he knows what to do. He still can run. It's just that he wasn't making the tackles. Now, he played well at the end of the year, finally. But I don't want to be putting Jabril Cox in that spot when Michael Parsons goes down there. I don't want to put Luke Gifford. In no sense of everybody calling names out, names that who you want until they're assigned. That's when I'm going to talk about them. So I know what everybody thinking. I know everybody talking about Bobby Wagner. I get it. I would love to have Bobby Wagner, no doubt about it. Would be extremely happy if some type of way Stephen Jones does something different than what he usually does, and that is not and spend some money on a guy. I am the Revelator. I am an assistant pastor here in Memphis, a bishop in the Lord's Church. Yes, I am. But I like it from that standpoint. And that standpoint alone. One thing LVE does bring, he does bring experience. Now, everything else, y'all can debate that all day long. Okay. I can't say I can't stand the signing of LVE, but I understand why they signed him. I get it. Now, let's move on down the line. We lost Randy Gregory. The Cowboys, depending on how you look at it, they signed Dorrance Armstrong back. And then on yesterday, they signed Dante Fowler Jr. Now, this is where a lot of y'all are about to disagree. This is where I'm finna lose some of y'all. See, if you want to get paid in the NFL, they deal with you on the bottom line. Like, if you want to be a $20 million pass rusher, you can't go to the table demanding $20 million a year because you got pressures. No. That's not going to get you $20 million a year. You get $20 million a year by go ahead and finishing the job. You get $20 million a year by putting quarterbacks on their backside. That's how you get it. Just getting pressures and stuff will get you an $8 million a year deal. On that note, when we look at Randy Gregory as a whole, let me ask y'all this question. What did he do? Considering the fact that he missed so many games because of suspension, lost the whole season one year. Another year lost 10, 11 games, all that. I'm just asking the question. I'm not saying nothing about his talent. The bottom line, what did he do? I know he got screwed. I get that. I didn't like the way they did him either. I'm gonna hold on to that they did him horrible, throwing that last minute contract stuff in at the end. I get it. But overall, what did Randy Gregory do? He never made a Pro Bowl. Certainly, he never was an All-Pro. He was not on the field. He was suspended most of his NFL career. Yes, he has incredible talent. Yes, he has unique skill sets that you can't teach, and not too many guys have. I give you that. Well, what did he really do? What did he do? And then when you look at Dorrance Armstrong, who's not as good, in my opinion, as Randy Gregory, but he's available. And then you go get Dante Fowler. So the way I'm looking at that is that we got 2 for 1. So you got Armstrong and Fowler. And Fowler, when he played with Aaron Donald, had an 11-sack season. He's always have had potential, quote unquote, freakish type talent. Didn't really put it together in Atlanta. But he's always been known as a guy who has a lot of potential, has a different type skill set, different skills, and he can get to the quarterback. Well, if you got Armstrong who can get to the quarterback, and you got Fowler who can get to the quarterback, is the Randy Gregory loss that incredible? I'm just asking a question. To me, I think we're all right. Now, I'm not saying we don't need to add more. Okay. I'm just saying, is it, and neither one of them individually, in my view, are better than Randy Gregory. But is the gap is what I'm saying. And that's why it's not a right and wrong answer here, because everybody sees things differently. My question is there such a gap between Gregory, Armstrong, Fowler that is like night and day? That's what I'm asking. I believe Randy is better because he can just do things that I don't think they can do. He's built differently. Who is that? E. Kush says, I'm just saying this. E. Kush says he was impossible to cover. Our sack production will suffer without Gregory. I'm betting we are going to see Gregory go off now that he has left Dallas. We hold our players back a lot. Well, the other thing about that, E. Kush, is that I would expect Gregory to go off as well, but look who he's playing with. Think about that for a minute. Look what's already on that defense where he just can't double. I mean, who you gonna double? Him or Chubb? I mean, who you gonna double? I mean, pick your choice. You gonna double Randy and let Chubb go free, or you gonna double Chubb and then let Randy get loose? So I mean, both of them demand attention, but the question is which one you want to go with. So, I can't. I expect him to go off. I really do. I'm expecting him to go off. I'm expecting it. All right. The question is, and the reason why it's really not good is because can we really depend on D-Law to stay healthy? How about that one? So Gregory is gone. You tell me where we are. I'm sorry, I ain't seen all my guys on my personal page. Michael Evans, I see you there. Tavis, what's up, man? Mike again. Eddie, I see you. Eddie on here. Listen, I don't know. You know, we asking a lot out of D-Law. Can he stay healthy enough, to make a difference? Because if he goes out, I mean, where we at? Where we at? If D-Law goes out, which usually happens for the last few years, I mean, what are we doing? So I guess you got Fowler and Armstrong gonna be you two guys. And then of course we got the draft coming. I get that. That's what you guys love, the draft. That is gonna have to be addressed. Defensive end position is gonna have to be addressed. No doubt about that. Let's move on. We've already talked about the linebackers, at least the signings there. I don't know why the Cowboys are playing around with Javon Curtis. The Stephen Jones thing, I could do a whole 2 shows on him. Stephen Jones is the killer of the Dallas Cowboy organization. And once again, he's flirting around with danger with Javon Curtis. We need to sign him. He's earned the right, whatever money he's asking for. Of course, he ain't supposed to be asking to break the bank and all that kind of stuff. I get that. But he certainly has earned the right to get paid. He's one of our better players on defense. Many argue and say he should have been a Pro Bowler last year. I'm one of them. He should have been in the Pro Bowl last year. But he's earned the right to make the money, and Jerry or Steven, primarily Steven, need to get this done and rather quickly. There's a report out today that says that the Cowboys finally, let's go back. They supposedly offered him a deal, and Javon Curtis said this is peanuts. So that was an insulting offer. You already know that. So now it's come out today that the Cowboys and Javon Curtis have moved along and, talking well on a 3-year deal. A 3-year deal. So that's the deal that they should have been offering him in the first place, to be honest with you. But supposedly they are working now on a 3-year deal for Javon Curtis that just came out actually before my show started here. So we need to sign him because that would solidify our safety position. We signed Hooker back to a deal. Now, I've been talking about these injured guys and all this kind of stuff, and it's just true. Hooker survived last year. He didn't hurt himself again. They're going to give him a bigger role. Let me just say this. If Hooker plays anywhere near what his potential is, which is great, and he can stay on the field, we are legit. We are legit in the secondary if we sign Curtis. Malik Hooker is a first-round pick who is a dominant safety. At least he was in college. He was dominant with the Colts, and then of course he got hurt. So, I don't know, what needs to happen there. All I know is that I need to see something come across my phone saying that he's been signed. We need him. We need him badly. We need him badly. And if you give me Curse, Hooker, Diggs, and Boss Man Fat, I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances with that. Yeah. I'll take my chances with that. No question about it. If you give me that secondary, I'll take my chances. I'm looking for it. No doubt about it. So we need to sign him. That would help out the fan base a lot if they sign him. And so for those that are watching, now, if I would ask you this question a week and a half ago, I already know what the answer would have been. If I would have said, give me a grade for the Dallas Cowboys offseason, everybody would have said an F. I already know that. I know that. Everybody would have said an F. What I want to see right now is, and I'm going to open up the phone lines now because I talked long enough. I think I covered it all, at least the parts that I wanted to cover. I want to know now, based off the signings from yesterday, because the vision is becoming clearer. It's becoming clearer. The only question mark left to me is, how much does Bobby Wagner want? Because I'm finding it real strange that Bobby Wagner has not been signed yet. He's too good of a ball player, and he can command a lot of money too. He can. I would figure that he would probably want to stay in the division where he can play Seattle twice. He knows the division and, all that kind of stuff. I would think he would do that. And there were rumors out there saying that the 49ers wanted him. I don't know if they pursued him. I don't know if they tried to talk to him or not, but Bobby Wagner is still out here. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, he should have been one of the first ones gone. What's up, Kev? I see you, bro. So to me, I find that a little strange that he's still floating. I don't know. He supposedly came back to Dallas again to talk. Whether he received an offer or not, I don't. They say that there was a report I say that he hadn't even been offered anything by the Cowboys. He just came to visit on his first initial visit, but they brought him back. Bobby Wagner has been seen twice by the Cowboys. You got to start paying attention slowly but surely to the facts, not your emotions, not your fantasies. You got to look at the bottom line. He's been to the facility twice. Interesting. If you tell me I can sign Bobby Wagner and Curse, I'm good. I don't need nothing else on defense. This guy should have been off the board within the first 2 days. I'm serious. Bobby Wagner still is a guy. If y'all think Von Miller signed for something crazy, what you think Bobby Wagner gonna sign for, or could demand? So that I just find. I'm not saying he coming to us. All I know is he's been to Dallas twice. Now I don't know where he been because I'm not. I don't pay attention to everybody else's news. He could have been somewhere else twice. He could have been somewhere else 3 times. All I know is he came to Dallas once. He flew everywhere else, and they brought him back in again. It has to be some level of interest. I think that's safe to assume. Let's just agree on that. Because if you weren't interested, you wouldn't come for a second time. So there has to be some type of interest there. No question about that. But it is strange a guy his caliber is still floating out there. It just is mind-boggling to me. So what's up, Kev? Kev says, yeah, I don't understand unless he's just asked for crazy money, but Von Miller got more than what I thought he would get. And I think that, Bobby, you're right, Kev. The conscience is on up here. So I agree with that 100% because I think Bobby can command that type of money still. He's still good, still great, still a walking Hall of Famer. No doubt about that. Still can get the job done at a very, very high level. That's what Bobby Wagner is. All I can tell you is that would be a dream signing, but he's not signed. Curse is not signed as yet. Now, here's my question to y'all. Everybody that's watching, here's my question. Based off what you've seen in the last 48 hours and comparison to what we've seen in Cowboy land, if I asked you 2 weeks ago, give me a grade for the front office, everybody would have said an F. on today, March the 19th, what's your grade for the offseason now? Because certainly things have changed just a little bit. Yesterday by itself should have changed the grade just a little bit now. I mean, I still don't like Stephen Jones doing his job. I mean, but let's deal with the bottom line. What grade are you giving the Cowboys front office now after the signings of Washington and Dante Fowler and D-Law back and Armstrong? What are you giving? What grade are you giving? Give me a letter, somebody. Give me a letter. Give me a letter. Yeah. Give me a letter. Give me a letter. So I had to turn that down. I got an echo. So I'm opening up the phone line now. I'm done talking, whether you know it or not. That number is 901-654-6853. 901-654-6853. Call in. Give me your letter grade for the front office and why. Why you got a problem with it, or why you don't, or why you still giving them. Oh, that's another one. Give me a grade on it. Tell me what you think, or just type it in. I'm interested in to see, because a lot of us were fire hot. I'm talking about like, good Lord, are you going to do anything? Which we already know Stephen Jones is not going to do. I don't know why everybody thinking all of a sudden he's going to change. Even right now, he's doing the same system. Get a few guys, names of guys are pretty much giving up on, or guys coming off of injury. And then you go get the rest of it from the draft. I mean, this is his game plan. This is what he's always done. So I just want to know what you think right now. Is it still an F? Is it still a D? Is it a C? Or they haven't done enough for you to change your mind? Let me know. 901-654-6853, or you can just put it here in the chat and I'll read your comment and say something about it. I'm waiting on y'all now. You can call in now. Line is open. You can come on and get it. 901-654-6853. Hope you guys, it's been a minute since I've been on, well, a couple of days at least. Listen, if you follow me, those are all the tag lines there you see on the ticker as it scrolls across. Follow me on all of those, especially my YouTube channel. Go out and search out the show. Follow it, turn on the notifications. I would appreciate it. I'm everywhere, as you can see there. If you want to support the show by Cash App, $ the Big Time Show. If you want to be a subscriber to the Big Time Show, or you do a monthly donation to Big Time Show 3.supercast.tech. All you got to do is go to their website and make a decision. If you're on Podbean, just tap that red reward bag, and then you can make a decision on becoming a patron of this show. I'm still waiting on y'all. Y'all ain't talking back to me. I'm waiting on some of y'all. What's y'all grade? What's y'all grade now so far this offseason? Joe says so far with all the players we signed, I don't see no improvement. We actually got worse. Wow. Joe, give me some more on it. Give me a little bit more. And particularly, where have we gotten worse? let me know that one. I think I know which way you're going, but just for clarification, where are we worse? Shane said, given the fact that we are rebuilding and getting rid of big contracts and signing players to 1-year deals, I would say a B grade. Remember, I said we are rebuilding. Well, Shane the man is in the house. And Shane, since he's been with me, hanging with me, and I appreciate him for doing that. Shane will tell you that I've been saying this for the last month.
Call from
Michael Evans.
Michael Evans is here.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Yeah. So I've been saying that for a while, y'all. And I'm not surprised that that we're rebuilding. I've been calling it out. But Shane gave it a B. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's pretty high. Shane, give me some more on why it's a B. And in particular, go ahead. I'm gonna assume, Shane, that you're talking about the signings from yesterday. That's the only thing that could bump it up to a B. But don't let me. I got a call on here. My guys on here, the one and only Mr. Michael Evans. Welcome to the show, Mike. Say what's on your mind, brother.
How you doing, Mr. Douglas? How was Arizona?
Oh man, I didn't have no fun. I was working, but I'm good. I was doing my residency there.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give him a C minus.
C minus.
The reason I'm gonna give him a C minus, they have not addressed the offensive line in any way or form. I mean, what are they gonna do at left tackle? I mean, Tyron Smith has probably got 1 year left, maybe 2. They pretty much traded away their starting right tackle, and I have no problem with Terrence Stewart taking over, but they really don't got no room behind him. What are they going to do at the center position? I think we're still weak there. What about left guard? They haven't addressed that either. So, and then with all the other losses they incurred, I mean, they already lost Randy Gregory, and let's be fair, everyone, they almost lost D-Law too. He asked for his unconditional release. When they came at him and gave him, we'll give you 1 for 10, he felt straight up and told he wanted out. So, thank goodness somebody stepped in and they got that deal done. Now they're messing with Javon Curtis. But you're right. They should have already signed him. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're waiting but you see, when he came out, he said his initial offer, it was peanuts. That's just Stephen Jones, his MO. I mean, he's been saying this since 2016. I mean, and I'm going to give a plug to Big Game James because he said this on his video the other day. He said since 2016, Stephen Jones has made it perfectly clear. Unless it is a player like Reggie White or Dion, they are not going to be involved. So I know everyone is hoping and praying and, to whoever they want to, whatever God they want to pray to. For Bobby Wagner, I don't see it. I don't see Bobby Wagner come here. And for this reason, with all the stuff that's come out, with the way the Cowboys do contracts, the way they did Randy Gregory, why in the world would Bobby Wagner want to come here and put up with that?
The only thing that I would say to that is, as far as why, and I don't know if this is good enough reason to come, but the only thing I can think of is his relationship with Coach Quinn, and that's it. That's it. And I think Coach Quinn has enough pull, at least, to make him think about it. Let me just say that. I believe that part. Now, I don't know, you say you don't see it, but Bobby Wagner is on that level, what you're saying about a Reggie White or Dion. And I'm just saying this guy is different. He is. I'm looking up his stuff now, where he has been. Let me see. He's been a defensive player of the year. Once. He has been, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-time Pro Bowler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-time first team All Pro. He's only played 10 years. So he's a 8-time Pro Bowler, 6-time first team All Pro. That's Hall of Fame. That's there's no other way you can look at that. And for those that may say, okay, he had the Legion of Boom. Yeah, that's secondary. But even after Legion of Boom broke up, he still was the man. So he is consistently. Matter of fact, he's been first team All Pro 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's been first team All Pro the last 5 out of 6 years. So I mean, I don't know what else. This dude is different. He's a generational linebacker. He is a first ballot Hall of Fame football player. No question about it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I agree. I agree he is, but I just don't see Jones putting out the money that he may want. I just don't.
Based off,
I don't see it.
I'm just saying, based off what you said, Bobby Wagner belongs in that category. When you said that unless it's that type of a player, he's not spending the check on it. Now, I don't believe that Stephen Jones going to try to sign him to that mess like Von Miller got. And if that's what he's demanding, he can go ahead and get it from somewhere else. But I don't think that you're going to disrespect Bobby Wagner like you did D-Law and like you did Curse in your offer. You're going to have to, if you want this guy, you're going to have to make a decision to give him between $10 and $12 million a year. And that's just a discount. He could command, at least in my opinion, right at 14. He's still that good. He is still that good.
But didn't they disrespect Von Miller when they brought him in here and didn't even offer him a contract?
Exactly, they disrespected him because you knew if you know that this guy's in high demand, you need to go and put your bid in. You don't need to let him walk out your door without something to think about. You let him walk out the door. I mean, good Lord. Matter of fact, they didn't even pursue Vaughn. The fan base did. That's what the report was. They didn't even call Von Miller. They didn't do nothing. They let Bobby Wagner walk out of Dallas on his first visit without a contract offer. They didn't want to do that, and I don't blame them for that because if you would have told him your offer, all he was going to do is walk out the door and go to the next meeting with another organization and say, okay, here's my starting point. Whatever Dallas offered me, here's my starting point. Can you do better? Most teams would have said, oh, yeah, we can do better. That means throw Dallas out the garbage can. So I don't blame Dallas for not giving him one. Hopefully you did enough to where he will want to come back. You don't never want to be the first one because you know the man going to see at least 5 to 7 organizations. You don't want to be the first one to put an offer out there, and they'll use your offer as a guinea pig. No, I don't blame Dallas for that. That's being smart, if you ask me. And if that's what happened with Vaughn, so be it. But I mean, we weren't gonna be able to do that with Von Miller anyway. So that's just my opinion on that.
Do you think the Dante Fowler signing was the shut up signing that Big Game James always talks about?
No, I think you got to look at the Dante Fowler situation. This is the way I'm looking at it. I'm combining both Dorrance Armstrong and Fowler together as I ain't gonna say it's a replacement for Randy Gregory, but it's 2 for 1. Dorrance Armstrong, we look at his stats, he's productive for the amount of snaps that he played. He's productive. He gets sacks, he gets pressures, he gets it all. He just don't get the time on the field. You get Dante Fowler, who's with the Rams, just had 11 sacks. Now, of course, he's playing with Aaron Donald, but the bottom line is he benefited from that. So the way you look at that is, to me, is that as long as D-Law is playing, and if D-Law is taking the double teams, whoever's been on that other side recently has benefited. Robert Quinn, Randy Gregory, these guys have produced. So the way I'm looking at it is I get 2 for 1. Keep in mind, Basham, if I'm not mistaken, is not signed. So I don't know, we get into the part now where we got depth concern. So I'm looking at it not as an individual. For those that don't know, I'm glad you brought it up, Mike. Dante Fowler was the 3rd pick in his draft overall. So he's just a guy that has never reached the full potential of what everybody thought he was. Now he got to the Rams and showed out with those 11 sacks. You're just hoping that he reached the potential with Dan Quinn, who we all know is going to get the best out of his football player. That's what you're hoping for. Plus, he coached them in Atlanta. So this is really the Dan Quinn signing. He brought him in and said, I got him. And they went in and signed him. So I look at it a little bit different than James does. I look at it as it's really a 2 for 1 type deal. And I hate to say this, y'all, but I take Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler, those two over Randy Gregory any day of the week. It's 2 for 1.
Oh,
same production.
And I'll say this before I let you go. I don't know if you're gonna talk about the Deshaun Watson trade and what kind of contract he got with the Browns, but 15 minutes ago, Matthew Stafford just signed an extension with the Rams, 4 years for $160, $135 guaranteed. Now I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna wait to see if they think this contract is outrageous and he's making too much money the same way that everybody did when they attacked Dak Prescott.
Not gonna happen. They're not gonna say anything. You'll be waiting until another 3-4 years for that happen. Deshaun, even with him missing, the difference is it's really about a belief, Mike. And the belief is that nobody believes that Dak Prescott is on the level of the money that he's making. That's what the problem is. Everybody believes that Deshaun Watson is worth that because most consider Deshaun Watson really a top 5 quarterback in this league. So you get the top 5 type money. What the problem is with everybody with Dak is you got the top 5 money, but most believe he's a top 12 talent. That's the difference. To the Cowboys, however, Dak's contract is well earned and worth it because he is that valuable to the Dallas Cowboys. But if Dak was going somewhere else, I don't know if he'll get that type of money. I'm saying he would get a lot, but he's not as valuable to everywhere else, at least in everybody's mentality, as he is here to Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboy fan base. Deshaun Watson has the same value with every organization. Every organization would love to have Deshaun Watson without a moment's thought. You'll sign up for him. You'll give up 3 first-round picks. You'll give up 3 first-round picks 1 second. You'll do that for Deshaun Watson. You would. Just kind of like Russell Wilson, the way they gave up all what they had to get Russell in Denver. You would do that for those type guys. But you ain't giving up no 3 first-round picks for Dak Prescott. You're not. You might give up 1, but you ain't giving up 3. This is the difference between. That's why you're not gonna hit nothing, Mike. Because the truth of the matter is just that he's not on that level. Not like that. He's great. He's good. Not like that though. That's the difference between Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott. That's just my opinion. But everybody else will think differently. Yep. I appreciate the call, brother.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, bye-bye. Now, let me just add to that. It's kind of like what Joe just said. Joe said Watson and Cooper would make Cleveland much better. You better hurry up and know it. One thing we know for sure, Deshaun Watson didn't play one whole year. But he better than Baker Mayfield right now. And Baker Mayfield was the first overall pick. I don't think nobody gonna say that Baker Mayfield, even now with Deshaun not playing 1 year, gonna say that Baker Mayfield's better than Deshaun Watson. That just go to show you. These guys, guys like him don't grow on trees. So Cleveland is about to be on the come up in a minute. Shane said another reason why I'm giving this as a B is because they are not signing the big free agents who are up in age, getting long and too. Y'all think Von Miller will live up to the contract Buffalo gave? He won't be there for 6 years. I don't think Von Miller may not be there no more than, I don't know if he's going to make it this year. To be honest with you, Shane, you're absolutely right on that. I don't know if he's going to be. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. All right, the phone line open again. Mike called in. Is anybody else going to call in real quick? Or give me your grades, if you don't mind. Give me your grade of what you think the Cowboy off-season has been, considering the signings of Dante Fowler, James Washington, Malik Hooker. These guys have been signed. Certainly, I don't think everybody's giving them an F anymore. I believe folks have, at least I have, changed my mind just a little bit on what they've done. I may not go as far as a B like Shane did, but they did make up strides in the receiver position with James and re-signing, I guess, Gallup now. I mean, we're really not going to feel the full effect of that until all Lamb, James Washington, and Gallup are on the field together. That's when we're going to find out how good that really is. Just me. Any other questions? Any other comments about the grading? And I didn't even give a grade, so let me say it. I give them a C. And the reason why I'm going to give them a C is because they playing around with Curse. If you sign Curse, I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to maybe a B myself. They were at an F. Washington is a big signing. Armstrong and Dante Fowler, that's not a detriment at all. That's good signs. That's good, solid signs there. Now, if you give me Curse, I'm bumping it up to a B. If you give me Wagner and Curse, we talking A category now. All right. Exactly, Joe. Joe says about that's why the signing of James Washington is still good, because Washington can play outside as well. So he's your insurance for Gallup while he's still in rehab. All right, Terry, what's going on? I see you, bro. Thanks for popping in. So again, here's the question. Terry. You come in right at the right time. Everybody else pretty much done answered almost. Since I know you stay up on it, here's my thing. If I had asked you last week, Terry, about a grade for the Dallas Cowboys offseason as a whole, I know you're going to say it was an F. Everybody would say that, an F. Now, since you've heard of the The signings from the Cowboys: James Washington, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler Jr. What do you give the off-season grade now? Shane says, yeah, that's a question, Terry. Tell me what you think. What grade you give him for the offseason? Shane says, I want to give my point across is that we are in the process of rebuilding. McCarthy will not be here next season. Kellen Moore will be gone too. I agree 100% with that. As you know, I've been saying this for a pretty good minute now. I've told you that if the Cowboys get off to a slow start this year, and the way that they praised Dan Quinn last year, I would not be surprised if McCarthy does not make it this season. Okay? I wouldn't be surprised if they let him go this season. Because I believe you're absolutely right, Shane. I think all fingers are pointed toward Sean Payton. And if Sean Payton comes, Kellen Moore is gone, Coach McCarthy is gone. I just believe that. So, and as far as rebuilding goes, all y'all got to do is go back in my timeline and look at the title of my shows. I asked a simple question: are we trying to win or are we rebuilding? And in those shows, I said I believe we're rebuilding. So Shane is we stand side by side on that one, because when you're trying to win, you do things that show the fan base and shows your team that you're willing to do what it takes to get over the top. We ain't trying to get over the top. The only thing we trying to do is compete for the salary cap championship of the world. That's what we're doing. Terry says, I give them a A. I give them a C minus. We still haven't addressed the need on our offensive line. You missed the first part of the show, Terry, but I did say that that is the weak spot now. If you had to go line up and play tomorrow, look at what your line is. Terrence Steele at right tackle, Zach Martin right guard, Tyler at center, Connor McGovern at left guard, Tyron Smith at left tackle. I broke all of them down. Tyron Smith too old or getting older, getting beat easier. Connor McGovern, we tried that. Ended up giving Connor Williams his job back. Tyler is not strong enough yet. And earlier I said he don't need to lift barbells. He needs to go under people's houses and just start lifting them up. Just lift up houses. Just start picking it up. So, and of course, Zach is still great. Terrence still, I believe, will do the job. But you say address the line, so we obviously they're gonna do that in the draft. But as I was saying, Terry, because of loyalty, you'll be drafting somebody perhaps in the first round who will never get on the field. Not as long as Tyron Smith is there. They're gonna let Tyron Smith go out on his own volition. They're gonna let him do it his way. No matter how much he's regressed, no matter how much he may not be the man no more, he got Jason Witten treatment. Jason Witten stayed Bogart at the position when he knew he should have sat down. Knew he should have been given more time to job and Schultz even back then, but they let him dominate the position. That same thing is gonna happen here with Tyron Smith's situation. Tyron Smith, they are not gonna bench him. So if you draft a tackle, for instance, in the first round, when he gonna play? There's another name that I just ain't went on. Now I'm thinking about it, and that's Josh Ball, y'all. Josh Ball, who is a mauler with attitude, who played right tackle and Marshall. This guy can flat out maul you. Okay, He can play a little guard. So I don't know, what the goal is for Josh Ball, who was injured last year, who will be coming back this year. That's my question. So we just need to see where we are with that. All right. That's just my question. That's another wild card in there. Where's Josh Ball gonna fit in all this? I hope he's good enough. Joe says, I hope we're not rebuilding because you have Dak and Zeke on big contract. You really don't want to waste them. Shoot, that's an argument Joe said is already wasted. Really ain't never really been on Dak. Dak is a complimentary type quarterback. He needs everything else to be right around him. Oh, ain't no doubt about it, Terry. That's why I was saying Ball is a mean dude. Y'all don't believe me? If y'all want a little homework, go pull up Josh Ball's college tape. Just pull it up from anywhere. YouTube. Just type in Josh Ball and just watch this kid. Watch how mean he is. A mauler, nasty type guy. He's tall. I think he's about 6'6", 6'7". A strong, mauling type guy. Want to beat you up. Josh Ball, he wants to beat you up. And there are some that say that he can play guard. He's big enough. I think he's 325, 6'7". I don't know how bulky he is, but I don't know if he really played a lot of guard there, but there are some that say he can play guard. Well, you need a mauler at guard. You need a guy that want to attack people. That's Josh Ball. So I think it's going to be real interesting this year to see how they're going to bring him. Yeah, exactly. That's the part where they could have spent some money, Terry. Terry says drafted a rookie left guard mean he won't be ready to play until game 8 or 9. So a lot of people have this conception that just because you draft these guys in the first round, like they day one start, they ready to go. No. We got lucky with CD and we got lucky with Michael Parsons. That's usually not how it go. The way that it usually goes is something like Boss Man Fat, even though Boss was hurt. But you see at the end of the year, you start getting all the playing time, or a lot of playing time. This causes progression with a rookie. And you just can't throw a left guard in, even though a lot of people say, well, there it is. Draft him left guard at 24. He'll day one start. Got a lot to learn. This is not the WAC conference. This is not the Pac-12. This is not the Ivy League conference. This is the NFL. And just because you draft somebody in the first round does not mean that they necessarily are starting day one or they're ready. This is the NFL, which most of you know what they stand for, not for long. If you think you finna come up here like you playing Wichita State, you're going to get embarrassed real quick. The stuff that worked when you were playing, at Oklahoma against Texas, that stuff don't work in the NFL. You get your brain kicked in. So it's not, a lot of people saying let's address it in the draft. You're addressing it, but are you getting a starter out of it? Like what? There ain't nobody starting over Terrence Steele. Let's get that out, okay? Yeah, what if you draft a right tackle or you draft a swing tackle, whatever, left tackle? Terrence Steele is your starter. Nobody is taking over the right guard position. Nobody. Zach Martin's spot is solidified. So you ain't drafting a guard for Zach. Center may be questionable. But you're going to have to do a lot to get Tyler out of there because he's still on his rookie contract. They want to get as much as they can out of him. So there you go with that. Left guard, okay. That's what the dilemma start. Ain't nobody about to sit down. Nobody is about to sit down Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith is going to get a chance to do just like Jason Wynn did. He going to walk out the way he want to walk out, no matter how bad he is or whatever. When he say he's done, that's when they'll say, okay, the left tackle position is open. It's open. Not until then. All right, Gary, my brother Gary's in the house. I'm looking at it. Gary said, what's up, bitch? I'm finna email Steven some of these plastic bags I have so he can keep shopping at these Safeway, all this Jack in the Box of my grandmama's cheeseburger with the light bread when I want McDonald's, spending with the money from his little bitty change purse. Free agents. I love it, Gary. That's it. Shane says, Bishop, when I say this, I don't know how you will react. I think if Baker Mayfield does not get a starting job, the Cowboys should sign him and be the backup to Dak. That ain't going to happen, Shane. The only reason why I'm saying this is because the Cowboys' pattern is that once they lock in on the starter the way that they locked in on Romo and Dak, the last thing that they will do is bring in any sense of competition in to challenge them. Think about all the backup quarterbacks Romo had. That was, and all the interceptions and late game mess ups Romo had. You know, he won a lot of games, obviously, but they never brought anybody in to challenge Romo. They're not going to do that with Dak either. They done invested too much. There's no way that, you know, look, if you let a man in your backfield with a torn PCL or strain, whatever he had, play, and he got that in week 4, and you essentially, not only did he play, but you kept giving him the ball, and they didn't care enough about that man to sit him down, know he needed the rest. And the reason why most believe that that's the case because he got paid $90 million. Okay. Switch that on to Dak. You really believe they're going to bring a Baker Mayfield in here to challenge him and have a $40 million quarterback on the bench? Oh, no. No, sir. No, sir, Shane. It makes sense what you're saying, but this is Dallas Cowboys. They won't bench Dak. That will look. You had to ask me this question maybe about another 4-5 years from now. That's when you'll start seeing the questions like that. But not now. It's way too early. Dak will never sit down. Okay. Terry Turner said, let me throw in this in. I expect Boss Man Fact to make a big jump and have a huge impact. I agree 100%, Terry. I agree 100%. Hey, Mr. Eddie, I see you, man. Mr. Eddie done popped in now. My co-worker for years. Yeah. Boss Man Fact. I'm expecting him to be what we thought of when we drafted him. He has that type of talent. Joe says taking away Dak's weapons. They are setting up Dak's. They are setting up Dak's downfall so they can have excuse to either trade him or cut him like they did Cooper. With the Cowboys, man, you can't dispute that because we've seen it. Terry Turner said, we are the kings of bargain basement shopping. Man, I don't feel like checking right now, but y'all know I will. So, yeah. The king of bargain. What up, Coach? What up, Coach? I see you. We are the kings of bargain basement shopping. Terry said, I still need a beast at DT. Big Bo, show yourself strong. Well, it's a possibility that might be at the draft. Now, listen, Bo is a good one. If Jordan Davis is there, which I doubt, but if Jordan Davis is there, the kid from Georgia, look, man. See, if you give me him now, this defense is going to be incredible, which is what I feel the defense is going to have to carry us anyway, because I don't think the offense is going to be. I told y'all this from the beginning. I don't think that they are going to be good like they were. Now, here's the thing. We're so used to the Cowboys being the number one offense or number two offense in the league that if my defense is a top 10 defense and my offense is a top 10 offense, you're going to be amazed at what your record is going to be then at the end of the year. If I can get I really believe I just need to see everything. See, if you sign Curse, we got Hooker, we still got Donovan Wilson. We'll have Diggs, and we got Boss Man Fat. See, I like that secondary. If you give me Curse back there, if you tell me Hooker can stay healthy, oh my God, which he lasted last year. If you tell me Hooker can stay healthy, you're talking about a first round talent right there. Okay, the secondary is legit. Linebacker is a question mark because we got to fill it out. D-line is okay, but it can go to another level if you give me a player that's dominant. You give me a DT like Jordan Davis, and then I got dominance on each level of the defense. At dominance on the D-line, dominance in the linebacker, that's Parsons. Dominance in the secondary, that's Diggs. You're going to win some football games. I need my defense to be a top 10 defense next year. That is going to be the strong point of the team next year, based off as of right now. Sure, we got better, in my opinion, by the signing of James Washington and the thought of Gallup later on with Washington and Lamb on the field together is dangerous. Once you go look at Washington and see how he played, he is a dog. Okay. If you watch Dez Bryant is one of Dez guys. They went to the same school. He has his full endorsement. He's a dog. That's James Washington. He is a dog. I'm telling y'all, if y'all ain't seen it, you need to go watch James Washington film. This kid was a Biletnikoff winner, best receiver in the country, first team All-American. He's a dog. Okay? It ain't his fault that he played with a lesser Ben Roethlisberger later on. And everybody talking about his production. He wasn't hurt or anything. He just played with Ben, who wasn't the same Ben. So if people saying, well, he's not, no. Your quarterback kind of dictates what your production is. That's kind of what happened to Cooper. See, everybody blaming Cooper, but Cooper can't bag up and give a 5-step drop and throw it to himself, and then he go catch it. No, you got to have opportunities to get the football. James Washington didn't have it. Coop didn't have it. Some of this goes on to either your play caller or your quarterback. Maybe a combination of both. It's just that simple. So, what I like the sign of Washington, but when you start talking about these guys potentially, when Gallup is able to come back, it don't look so bad. Now, of course, you need a line to protect Dak to finally throw it, but you got to call it like it is, man. So, hey, what's up? Who else done popped on here? What's up? West Coast popped in on Tavis. What's going on? So, I really want to emphasize, it's not what grade would you give them. Tavis, you on here. My boy Tavis on here. West Coast, if you on here, and if everybody know West Coast, here's my question the other day, and you just put it in the comment box. If I asked y'all 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, what letter grade would you give the Cowboys off season? Mostly everybody was saying F. But based off where we are now with the signings of some of our own and throw in Washington and Dante Fowler, throw that in, of course, with the sign of Dorrance Armstrong, Gallup, re-signing Gallup, re-signing Hooker. Curse is still out there, but the reports are that they're trying to work on a 3-year deal. Give me your grade now. Now, I ain't saying it's an A, but I'm thinking that most people are not going to give it an F. Where are y'all now? Where are you now? Just type it in. If you Tavis, I don't know if you're on here. West Coast, I don't know if you're still on here. Mr. Eddie, you're a Cowboy fan. Give me your grade now on your what you think this off season is as of now. We're not done. I don't think we're done. But as of now, what grade are you giving? Because see, last week we were about ready to kill Stephen Jones. we were about to charter flights to Dallas and find Stephen and sit him down and say, hey, man, you killing us, man. You killing my team. You don't need to make no more decisions. Nothing. Let Jerry do it all to forget, we ready to kill Stephen. But that same Stephen now, that same dude, he signed Washington, he signed Fowler. It's not as bad as it was last week. Give me your grade real quick if you don't mind. Gary says, see, bitch, we got Coke Zero guys on the offensive line and Bland, no salt guys on the defensive line. They pose no threat in the pass rush department. Then we're in trouble because an offense may end up being a lot of 3 and outs if they can't move the ball. True. I think that we win. I think we're gonna be. It's just gonna be interesting to see because I don't think the offensive line depth chart, at least first team, ain't gonna change. Terrence Steele at right tackle, Zach Martin at right guard, Tyler at center, Connor McGovern at left guard, Tyron Smith at left tackle. I don't think that's changing. No matter who we draft, Joe said he giving it a D plus because we haven't fixed our offensive line problem. And the draft's not going to fix it either because they're not starting. They're not going to start. The only question marks I have for offensive line is how Josh Ball fits into this equation. How does he fit into it? That's my question. He's coming off injury. He's a mauler. He's mean. He's nasty. Is he good enough to squeeze his way into the lineup some type of way? That's my only question. He ain't taking Tyron Smith's spot. I can tell y'all that right now. That's not going to happen. Can he slide to left guard and kill folks? I don't know. So I have to admit, at the end of this week, I do like the moves that were made this week. I ain't jumping up and down about it. I do like the moves this week. Now, Stephen Jones needs to stop playing around. Go ahead and get Curse signed. We need Curse bad. Give me Curse. And if I had a miracle, some kind of way, can we get Bobby Wagner? I don't put no money on it, but some kind of way, can you give me Bobby Wagner? Some kind of way. See, if you give me Wagner and Curse, I'm ready to play football. Yeah, I'll take my chances. I'm ready because, see, I understand we're not dominant on the defensive line, but I still like Gallimore. I still like Gallimore. I still like Tristan Hill. I'm not saying they Pro Bowl Fletcher Cox type guys, but there ain't no slaw now. Man, let's not lose it. I know we want the one tech that's just dominant like a Fletcher Cox or Aaron Donald, or, these type of guys. But we ain't just trash now. I would love to have a kid from Georgia, but I don't think he's gonna be there. If you give me presently right now, without a one tech, if you give me Curse and you give me Bobby Wagner and you give me that second, the rest of that secondary with Michael Parsons there and D-Law, we're going to have a top 10 defense. That's the way I feel about it. If you can give me Wagner and make sure that Curse is signed, just those two guys, with the team that we have now, you got a top 10 defense. And if you have a top 10 defense, you're going to win some football games. The offense is not going to be as explosive as it was with Cooper, Lamb, and Gallup. See, those guys will give you the number one offense in the league. But you tell me Lamb, Washington, and Gallup, and you still got, if properly used, let me throw that in, if properly used Zeke and Tony Pollard, even with the line where we are, because Zach still can play, they were just the penalties that killed us. Tyron Smith still is all right. Terrence still is a baller. You get McGovern, I believe McGovern going to be 3 times better than he was last year, if you ask me. I think he is. And I think that this offense still will be a top 10 offense. They may not be number one, but they going to be a top 10 offense. And if I got a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to win a lot of football games like that. It's just me. That's just me and my thoughts. All right. I still got time for one more call, 1 or 2 more calls. Why don't you call in at 901-654-6853. 901-654-6853. I'm almost ready to get off here. There it is right there, 901-654-5853. Go ahead and call in now if you want to come on real quick, give me your comment. Tell me if you agree with me. If you disagree with me, it's cool. But go ahead and call in 901-654-6853. 901-654-6853. Come on, call in. Come on and call in real quick. Well, I got time. I got about another 12, 13 minutes. We got time to bring in one more person. If you're on Podbean and you want to call in, you can call in as well. Just hit that flag. Okay. The Revelator said, there the Revelator is. And bring him in. He calling in. Hey, the Revelator. Welcome to the Big Time Show, brother. What's going on?
How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm good, man. I knew you was a pastor because you was TD Jaking your way through this show.
Oh, man.
Listen, all the players that you're calling for, like the Wagners and everybody else, the Curses, to come on to Dallas Cowboys, I believe that they will have a top 5 defense.
Wow.
And the reason I believe that they will have a top 5 defense is because most teams are offense heavy, meaning they're not concentrating on their offensive lines like they should, which means that Dallas would just be feasting on most of the teams out there. They'll be having a field day defensively.
I like what you're saying. The only thing that the only way that it would not be a top 5 defense is unless my offense struggles. And what I mean by that is if they do a lot of 3 and outs and all that kind of stuff, then that defense will be on the field a while and nobody can survive that. But I agree with you. I won't go on top 5, but I'm going to say this. I can see that.
Let me say this. Let me say this. As a pastor, I believe that you're humble, and I believe that you don't show any real like arrogance and stuff like that. But I will say this: Dallas would be at least if all that you're asking for happened, Dallas wouldn't just have a top 5 defense. They will be a top 5 team, even if their offense struggle. If your defense is good enough to stop points, you can come back from the struggle. Pittsburgh Steelers played second half every game last year. So even if they struggle in the first half, they could get over their woes and come back and beat a team that they're even trailing. So if their defense get the personnel that you're asking for, Dallas might not only be a top 10, they might be a top 5 team.
Wow. Okay. Well, I ain't gonna argue with you. Are you a Cowboy fan?
No, I'm not.
You're not a Cowboy fan. You objective though.
Let me say this. When I see teams that are beefing up in the NFL, you got to remember your team plays against those teams. So it's kind of scary when you see teams making moves and transitions like Dallas are making right now. The James Washington acquisition is far more superior than you know. Let me tell you why. We never really got a chance to see him consistently play. It was almost like the Steelers shelved him.
You are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan listening to a Dallas Cowboy podcast. I like you already, man.
No, I'm real objective. I'm sorry, because I understand some of the moves that we're making as a team aren't really up to par. Because I mean, with all of the free agent quarterbacks out there, Mitch Trubisky should not have been the first quarterback to come to mind.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this, because I know something when I hear it. You're a preacher too, aren't you?
No, but you know what?
You sound like
my mom friends used to call me her pastor when I was a little boy. But you know what that is? Because if any young black male is intelligent, the first thing that they throw at him is a pastor, because mostly women go to church. So, when women talk, they look at the pastors and the reverends as the intelligentsia of the black community.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to preach.
No, it's just in you. I like it. I like what I'm hearing. Plus, your name kind of throw me off. Listen, Doc, I appreciate you calling. Listen, follow me so you can hear the rest, because I do this every Monday and every Saturday. And sometimes I jump in the middle. Just go ahead and just follow me and turn on that notification and come on back and hang with me, Doc.
That's what's up. Thank you.
I appreciate you so much for coming and hanging with me. All right. Thank you. All right, y'all. That was the Revelator on Podbean. I appreciate him calling in, and he made some valid points, and he had some high expectations for the Cowboys, as you just heard. He think that we can be a top 5 team if we get the rest of this puzzle fixed. And I only got 2 names left. I believe that we are going to sign Curse. That's one piece I believe that's going to happen. But then I need a miracle. I need Bobby Wagner to not get incredibly greedy But I can't blame him if he does. It's his body that he putting on the line. You can't regulate no other man's body when they the ones putting it on the line. But in some kind of way, I'm hoping that Dan Quinn can convince him to come to Dallas. And if that happens, we ready to play football then. We ready to play football. The defense gets scary with a Michael Parsons, D-Law, and Bobby Wagner on your team and an all-pro. Listen, you put Bobby Wagner on this team, I got 3 all-pros on my defense. Y'all understand that? 3 first-team all-pros on my defense. I don't see why nobody can't see the damage that this could cause. I'm serious. You give me Diggs, Parsons, Wagner, D-Law, good Lord of mercy. And Quaz is kept. I know he ain't like this now, but hey, LVE in his rookie year, guess what? Y'all look it up for yourselves. He was a first-team all-pro, which means that trait is in him. I'm just saying, y'all, I need this defense to be nasty. And if you give me some nasty guys, this can happen rather quickly, I may add. Rather quickly. It's just gonna pay one good time. Do something, Stephen Jones, that you ain't used to doing, and that is spend the money well. All right. I'm done, y'all. Listen, I will see you guys Monday at 7 o'clock Central Time. Monday, 7 o'clock Central Time for the Big Time Show podcast. We'll continue this conversation. The way things are going, there will be some other news between now and Monday. I believe that. If not, I'm a Cowboy fan, but I sure want to talk about Deshaun Watson. I really do. And I may make that commitment that if Cowboys don't do nothing between now and Monday, my next show, I got to talk about Deshaun Watson. I got to. Because it's incredible what has happened. I ain't talking about the trade. I'm just talking about the whole thing mixed up, the allegations, the waiting game, Houston, the way he wanted to get out of Houston. Then all of a sudden, here come the women. None of it has stood up. Now it's a civil issue and all that kind of stuff. None of it is going to stand in court, which means that the man didn't do nothing. That's about whether you want to admit it or not. It's up to you. The court says he didn't do nothing. Now he gets traded. He kicks Baker Mayfield out of Cleveland. He gets Amari Cooper. And he gets an incredible contract. You talking about something. You can't tell me. As crazy as it may sound, hey, Chad, I'm about to go, but hey, thank you for popping in. You can't tell me that God is not real because what that contract represents, Deshaun Watson, it represents that God will give you back. Give things back. That's just the bottom line. I sure want to do a whole show on Deshaun Watson. I know this is my Cowboy stuff, but I want to talk about Deshaun Watson so bad because the city of Houston and the Houston Tech. Let me stop. I ain't going to even get into it. I'm not going to even do it, okay? All right. So come back and hang with me on Monday, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Monday night Central Time for the one and only the Big Time Show. I appreciate everybody hanging with me. Listen, if you want to follow the podcast, those on Podbean, it's simply just follow me If you want to become a patron, if you're on Podbean, go ahead and click that red bag that you see and make a decision. You can do that. Everybody else, you've seen the ticker going here on on StreamYard. All the information is there. Joe asked the question, what's the difference between Zeke and Watson's case? Tape. The tape was there for Zeke when he pulled the girl's shirt up and grabbed or rubbed on her, whatever the case, even though she was with it, but things turned around rather quickly. Tape, that's the difference. Watson doesn't have tape. You got hearsay. That's hearsay. How many women have gotten men in trouble when they were at the moment receptive? That's a good way to say it. And then when it was all over, you change your story and go to the police because it's mentally trained into this society that if she says she's been violated, they're going to believe it. You know, it's just that simple. They know who he was when he walked into the massage parlor. Your real question, Joe, should be, and I'm getting ready to go, is what's the difference between Robert Kraft, the Patriots owner, and Deshaun Watson? Because, see, they did the same thing. Robert Kraft went to the massage parlor. Deshaun Watson went to the massage parlor. There were tapes that were there. Robert Kraft got enough money and pulled that the tapes were destroyed. Didn't even make it. Matter of fact, Robert Kraft did not even go to court. Matter of fact, Robert Kraft did not even get suspended. I thought that when you do something that's violation to the league, that you were supposed to be suspended. Robert Kraft didn't get anything. Deshaun Watson, however, lost a whole year. Oh, that's right, Joe. I forgot something else. You're right. Well, that's the same thing. Woman says a man hits her, they're gonna believe it. And I ain't gonna even go to the rest of it, but the question really is not them. Let's discuss, and I'm gonna bring it back to the case. Robert Kraft, what Robert Kraft did and Deshaun Watson, what is the difference? I mean, really? What is the real difference between those two? All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys Monday. This is, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging with me. This is the one and only, the Big Time Show. Revelator, I don't think they want a piece of me on that now. I'm only Podbean can hear me. They can't hear me. My mic is muted on my rest of my spots. Only you can hear me if you're the only one on here. They don't want to deal with me on that. But I'm going to bring it to the table because I ain't scared. Woo! Revelator, I'm glad you joined in, man. This is the Big Time Show. Yeah. I'll see you Monday. Come on back, hang with me, Revelator. I got plenty more. Plenty more.